after the judgment was declared, these two women went to Sabarimala for darshan. For want of a better word, in English you would call it worship. They went. When they came out, the Tantri did a Shuddhikaran.
Are they devotees and from which state they are?
Kerala. They are both from Kerala. One's name is Bindu, the other person's name is Kanaka Durga. Both are Hindus. As far as Bindu is concerned, she has been taken to the temple by her mother when she was age 11. After that, this judgment came. She was mob lynched for having gone there. I intend, my lord, to say that this court will not recognize any practice anywhere, whether in a denomination or individually, in 25 or 26, which violates any of the provisions of Article 15 on the prohibited categories. It is not entitled to recognition by a court of law. That is going to be my submission. And that is, I will have to make it good. And that, I believe, will answer all the 6 questions. And your lordship may kindly make a note of one fact. This court has not stayed the Sabarimala judgment till today. Please make a note of that. It remains in full force and effect. As and when the review petitions are heard, my lord, the question will arise whether it's to be overruled. But as of today, no court of law has stayed that judgment, not even the 7-judge bench, not the 9-judge bench. Only questions have been referred, arguments for presentation to the court. So therefore, my lord, if I wish to, I'm entitled to rely on the questions of law which arose in that. However, I'll try to avoid that also. I'll try to make an independent argument, not necessarily.
That's better, because they also would rely.
I will, my lord. It's only a matter of fact I want you to keep in mind. That's all. Because it concerns the people I'm representing. Now, I come to the issue, who am I representing? I'm representing 2 women. One of them is scheduled caste. So I will ask the question, when you keep a scheduled caste woman out of visiting the temple, are you violating Article 17 or not? She's a Hindu and scheduled caste. So I will ask this question, my lord. Is the abolition of untouchability only for men, or does it include all persons? Today we are told that yes, non-caste Hindus can enter Sabarimala, but not non-caste women. That is the proposition before you. We are not being allowed to enter. All men can enter, no restriction of caste. Why? Because of Article 17. That's why they can enter. But I happen to be a scheduled caste woman.
No, you are not prevented because you are a scheduled caste woman, exactly. But because you belong to the 10 to 50 group.
Exactly. Yes, I will answer that at the right time. I know that. I know that.
Any lady above 50 years is also permitted.
Yes. But of course, I will deal with that at the appropriate stage. Obviously, my answer is going to be the most productive and creative period of my life. That is 10 to 50. What is a woman's status between 10 to 50? It's a status. It is a status. During this period, she's most creative, she's most fertile. Never mind, menstruation, will come to that later. You can't tell me live half a life. Avoid living between 10 and 50. Avoid enforcing your life between 10 to 50. Enforce it before 10, enforce it after 50. That will hit substantial deprivation within the meaning of Shururmat. That is going to be my submission. Shururmat said you cannot substantially decrease a person's right. Is this substantial or is it not substantial? That's the first question. Second, Devaru, my mistake, Devaru, in the process of harmonization, they said substantial injury you cannot make to a person's right under 25(1). So you will have to answer the question, is this or is it not a substantial injury? And my next submission is going to be, any violation of equality is a substantial deprivation of the right under 25(1). Very clearly. Any denial of equality is substantial injury within the meaning of 25(1). You have to decide the question, my lord, since you're sitting in a group of 9. Is equality a basic feature of the Constitution or not? And if it is, what does it mean? Will you use the provisions of Part 3 to interpret the width, breadth, and content of my right under 25(1)? My argument is, I'm being denied my right under 25(1). Now, my lord, let me proceed further. What happened is, after the judgment was declared, these 2 women went to Sabarimala for darshan. For want of a better word, in English, you would call it worship. They went. When they came out, the Tantri did a Shuddhikaran. I filed a petition in this court. Mind you, this is when the judgment was in full force and effect. I went. These are the only 2 women who succeeded in climbing up and doing darshan. No one else has succeeded since then. Why? Because the state has not cooperated with us. They refused to give protection for going up. I filed a petition in this court, and in which I put all these facts on record.
Are they devotees and from which state they are?
Kerala. They are both from Kerala. One's name is Bindu, the other person's name is Kanakadurga. Both are Hindus.
They
So,
have
my lord,
not
what happened to that petition I filed? I want to.
attempted to go to the temple prior to the judgment.
No.
Are they devotees or not?
I beg you, let me tell you the facts before I answer that question. As far as Bindu is concerned, she has been taken to the temple by her mother. That is her statement in a petition filed in this court. When she was age 11, she's already been there. After that, this judgment came. After the judgment, only once she has succeeded in going there. Not twice, not thrice, not 4 times. She was mob lynched for having gone there. At Kanakadurga, I believe she had problems with her family members. Her family also kind of came down heavily on her that why did you do this, etc. But as far as the first petitioner is concerned, she was left free by her family to go according to her conscience. But after that, she has not succeeded in going there. In fact, to be honest with you, she has had to migrate out of Kerala. Never mind, that's just a little fact I wanted to let you know. But at the present moment, she cannot live in Kerala anymore. And actually, once she had approached me and told me she's going to migrate out of the country, I said, no, don't do that. Come to Delhi, do what you want to do, but don't migrate out of the country. She also happens to be a lawyer. And
Why do you say it softly?
because she went in her capacity as because, my lord, never mind. It's, I want to tell you just a small little story.
Wrong in it, as Mr. Sir put it, lawyer is a social engineer, social reformer. Obviously, she has done her part as a lawyer also.
Yes, because I did not want to say she went there because she's a lawyer. She went there because her conscience told her to go there. That's the point I'm making. Anyway, my lord, never mind, my lord, it's a very emotional issue, what she's doing and what she's not doing.